Welcome back to the Dad Chapter. Not experts, just dads. Winging it one diaper at a time.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Kevin couldn't be here today, so we're welcoming one of our special guests, one of our best friends from all time, just to keep the mics warm. And we're at a special location, too, Charlie Blood, so check him out.
Yeah, man. High school buddy. He's a lawyer by trade and uncle by title.
Ooh, yeah, and not to mention our number one fan of the podcast since day one. So he's been always supporting the Dad Chapter, and I think we're going on like 30 years of friendship now. So yeah, we are honored. It's a privilege to introduce the uncle, the lawyer, our best friend, Craig Wagenblast, aka Wags.
How's it going, guys? I'm so happy to be here. I feel like I can probably proclaim myself the podcast number one fan, and
No doubt.
of course, it's partly on merit because I love what you guys are doing and giving advice to new dads or aspiring dads. But on
Appreciate that.
Yeah, on a personal level, like you said, we do go way back. So TJ, I actually met first. So we
Out of
met
anyone in the inner circle.
Yeah,
We were the first.
Yeah, so we met when we were like 5 years old.
I think we might have even been like four.
It could have
four and
been
a half.
four.
See, this whole time I was thinking we went the furthest back to like
Yeah,
first
no,
grade.
it was close.
but, yeah.
So I met TJ, 4 or 5. We were on the Barracudas, the most feared soccer team in Toms River.
Yeah.
Shout out to Coach Terry.
Coach Terry King.
Yeah.
He was a heck of a first coach to have, set the bar real high with the intensity.
He's still a living legend.
Yeah.
I don't
Bunch
know.
of 4-year-olds.
He might have shaped his career. Terry is
I
actually a
know.
lawyer by trade. He still is.
Subconsciously, that might have crept in, but
Went on to play college soccer thanks to Coach Terry. So.
yeah. And then Kendrick, met him just a few years later in first grade. I think we were in like the same group of like 4 desks, islands, whatever you call that.
Yes.
And
Never looked back.
we've been pretty much friends ever since. Me and TJ, we went to different elementary schools, so we kind of rekindled more in our teenage years, getting closer again. But super happy to be here. But, on the way here, I was thinking back, when did I meet you guys? But do you two remember like the instant you first met or like the time when you guys like first started getting close?
When TJ and I first started getting close?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it had to be around high school times. Like, we had this lunch crew that we were always hanging out with. And I just proclaimed myself as the number one Southern soccer fan, or Southern, that's where I work now. Toms River East.
It was definitely high school.
the Raiders soccer fan.
I knew of Kendrick in middle school. I think we touched upon this. He was an all-star basketball player.
He was the only kid that still had the mushroom cut.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was rocking the Justin Bieber cut for years. Like, that was my go-to.
He was the man in middle school, and it was definitely high school.
Yeah,
for sure.
I feel like, Craig, is there something that stands out in your mind as like the kindling of our group here, like TJ and I's friendship?
Yeah, that's why I was kind of like, I knew like we kind of as, the inner circle. Definitely got closer in high school, but yeah, I guess it was kind of like a mix because you and Vinny like went way back, and then like me and Vinny played soccer together, and we're in 8th grade together. So I feel like it was kind of like a few different links, and we all just kind of meshed well together. And
Yeah, I think because me and you knew each other since we were literally 4 or 5 years old, and then me and Vinny grew very close together. We played a lot of travel soccer, then obviously into high school, and then you being like a fit because you played soccer with me and Vinny, and then Kendrick and Kevin kind of went thrown in there. And yes, Kendrick was definitely our biggest fan on our high school squad.
I was driving all over Ocean County to go to every soccer game when you guys were seniors.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we load up the Mustang and just try to support you guys, with our WWTGD chants.
Yes.
Shout out Teddy Gillen.
the
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
Yeah,
But the inner circle, man, I have so many core memories with the inner circle. And the origins of that. We could do a whole episode on it, but I just feel like Craig and I, we've been best friends since we were just little, like first grade, and just the memories spending at your house for just your birthday parties or just summer gatherings, you know, sleepovers on the boat. Like, who does that? Like, we would have sleepovers out on your boat. Like, it was docked, but
Those
still.
were some restless nights.
I think it was basically like you two, and then me and Vinny were in the same situation, and then we added Kevin on.
Right. And then Kevin, yeah, that was the completion of the circle, if you will, because I mean, we had like,
Otherwise, it's a square.
that's right. We didn't want any like, you know, quadrilaterals. We needed that circle. So Kevin was the missing link there. But I mean, I've never laughed harder. Like when you guys have your core group of friends, like I never laugh harder than when I'm with you guys, you know, and like growing up as a young kid with Craig, you know, just getting into trouble, like throwing Katie's teacher supplies over your little barricade, you know, separating your 2 rooms upstairs. Like, oh, I just never will forget that. Like, sorry, Katie, I owe you some chalk. But I mean, like that was just the best times. And like, you know, telling our scary stories out there and playing, you know, Peter Answers and all that fun stuff. So we're just so honored to have Craig as our first official guest here, you know, at Charlie Blood's in Garfield, New Jersey. So yeah, thanks for hopping on, man.
It only felt right for him to break the ice. I've been getting a lot of people ask me when we have guests, and honestly, it's pretty special to have a friend that he's literally like been there for us the entire time. He wanted to take a step back, which I totally understand. It's kind of ballsy to go start a podcast and everything that goes behind the scenes. And, you know, Craig naturally is a skeptic and he is a lawyer. So he was like, you guys do your thing, but I will be your #1 fan. And I truly feel that. And I just want to say publicly that we thank you. He's even been to a recording previously in our first season and actually sat there and just watched us live.
Cheering us on.
Which was cool. And I was like, wow, like he wanted to spend his time doing that. Like he could have.
It was, you know, the studio was only 10 minutes from my house. You know, I don't want to. It wasn't that much of a hassle, but no, it was really cool. And yeah, I'm like super honored to be on it, and I'm super proud of what you guys have done so far, just in the first few episodes. And you know, I have faith that this is gonna keep growing and growing. And I feel like, again, for me, it's different because, you know, I know you guys. So listening as a fan is a little bit of a different experience. And I honestly love it because it's just like I could put it on and I just feel like I'm hanging out with the guys. And it's cool to see like the dad side of you guys, because like, you know, when we get together and I see you with your kids and like,
You
I get
to
some
witness
sense of it, but like it's
firsthand.
only for a few hours. And so like hearing you kind of go deeper to like the, you know, behind closed doors.
Good, the
and,
bad, the ugly.
And like, I
Kevin.
just feel like,
As Kevin says.
yeah. And like, it's honestly surprised me. I feel like you guys have had like a lot of like deep, insightful conversations. And I'm like, I didn't even know that about TJ or Kendrick, or Kevin. And it's been really cool to see.
Oh, well, we love you, brother. Cheers.
Yeah.
Thanks for hopping on here.
Absolutely.
Dad chapter.
I'm sitting here and Mr. B would not be proud of me, so I got to take this out.
Oh yeah, come on.
Cheers.
Mr. Bruno
Cheers.
taught you better. Yeah, get rid of that straw. But it's funny you say that, Wags, because like my wife, I mean, shout out to all our wives. They're the best, you know. Like literally, Craig, we got to shout out Dinah, right? You know, give her a shout out.
Thank you, Tina.
Yeah, yesterday she was like, yeah, Craig, do the podcast. Do it.
Yeah, she
We're like,
did.
yes, Dinah, you're the best. So, and my wife, she listens to it too, you know, and maybe part of it's because she's married to me, but she also said that she would listen to this podcast even if she didn't know us. So, I mean, you know, she likes the content we're talking about, and she can relate to that too.
And she wasn't being biased.
Yes, yeah, it was unbiased opinions.
I will say I'm very proud of us. I was actually driving home from work the other night talking to Craig on the phone. It was nice to catch up, and I said that within the last 10 days we actually acquired officially about 157 subscribers in 10 days.
Yeah,
Awesome.
TJ,
That was like
Let's
a
go.
huge win for us. So
road to 1,000.
thank you
Keep
guys
subscribing.
for
Help us
tuning
out.
in.
Yeah,
I
we're
just
about
had to throw
halfway
that out there. And while we're on it, thank you to Charlie Bloods for having us. It's a family business, which resonates with me. We've been coming here a couple times before or after filming at our studio, and they just kind of welcomed us into the doors as any good family business would do. And they rented out this back room to us, and the grandfather was a famous boxer, Charlie Blood.
Yep, that is the name, Charlie Blood. Yeah, that was his boxing name. So, yeah, what a cool name, huh?
And then their father took it over, and now the 3 daughters run the place, and they opened up their arms to us. And their father, who is no longer around, was a huge advocate of. He went to college in Montana. As you could tell in the room, there's just a ton of Western themes. So shout out to him, and thank you very much for having us. This is special.
Yeah, thank you, Charlie Blood. Shout out to Jody and Tracy, and Terry, my boy. Yeah, I mean, they've been so great. And shout out to Marvin and Bravery Studios for meeting us here for the first official recording at Charlie Blood's. I mean, Marvin had his birthday here, and like the first time we recorded with Bravery Studios, he was like, we asked him, is there a good restaurant around here, just to grab some food and a drink? And he's like, oh, try Charlie Blood's, ask for the Cowboy Room. And sure enough, we did. And then I'm overhearing from the table next to us, they're talking about Southern Regional High School in Manahawkin, New Jersey. I'm like, we're all the way up in Garfield. That's like 2 hours north. I'm like, who goes to Southern? And then that's when Jody, the waitress, she was like, oh yeah, my kids went through Southern. And then she said Terry, and I'm like, no way, Terry's a legend. So that's how this whole connection started. It just talks about like, it speaks volumes to how the universe just connects us all, and it's such a small world when you break it down. So yeah, I mean, then one thing led to another. Shout out to Dippy. He gave us the approval here, bartender Dippy to have the podcast here. So yeah, they've been great, and highly recommend check out Charlie Blood's if you're up in North Jersey. It's worth the drive. Garfield, New Jersey. I mean, we're in the Cowboy Room here, which, like TJ said, is based on the three sisters. Yeah, their father's Western, a love for Westerns. He played football in Montana, and
we thought it'd be a cool backdrop.
Absolutely,
for sure.
Yeah. Like Marvin said, there's everywhere you look, it's a great backdrop. It didn't matter which way we.
Yeah, you can't see it on the cameras, but
check it out for yourself.
Every wall is covered with taxidermy and Midwestern stuff.
Oh, go Bengals, Joe Flacco. Yeah, the icy hot bowl.
This just goes to prove this is not a green screen. This is an operating and functioning car. And
thanks, guys.
We have our first patrons of the day. So thanks for supporting Charlie Blood's.
Nah, we'll make a reel out of that.
Maybe.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Yeah, this is Tracy. Yeah, shout out Tracy. No, we could leave that in. It's all good. But we are live here. This episode might not be live, but we're recording live. It's open. It must be noon.
Studio.
It's 5 o'clock summer, but it's noon now, so they're open for business. So TJ is not a Jets fan.
No.
Go Steelers.
Go Steelers. And while we're on that topic, go Chelsea. They're playing Tottenham today. For anyone that's a Premier League fan, that's
boys.
a big rival. And I
got to beat the Spurs.
A Hazard jersey on. He is officially inducted to the Premier League Hall of Fame as of this last week. So that's exciting for me. He was my idol growing up.
And you guys, I'm still jealous. The inner circle, speaking of some memories, they all went to London for a big bachelor weekend for our friend Vinny.
Yeah.
He's a huge Chelsea fan as well, and they all went there before his wedding. And speaking of the tie it back in with the dad chapter, my daughter was just born, and I was all set to go, during the pregnancy. I was like, I'm going to be there. Like, my wife's like, it's all good. Go with the boys for the weekend.
And reality set in.
And then reality set in, and our daughter was born on February 11th. This trip was like early March, and she wasn't even a month old, and I was like, I can't leave my wife with this newborn like right now.
I'm pretty sure that me and you had a conversation where like, dude, I'm surprised Kendrick's like going through with this. Like, we were like talking amongst ourselves. We're like, you're about to have a kid.
That's Kendrick. Like, even though it doesn't make sense for him personally, he wants to be there for his friends and support. And like, obviously, it's a really cool experience. I'm sure he would have loved to go. We'll make it back. But
we'll get there with the kids.
But totally, we're like, I was waiting for that text.
Yeah.
Like,
it hit me one night. I was like,
been nuts.
We weren't surprised at all.
Kevin was the one, shout out Kevin for organizing all that, the logistics. And I had to call him one night. I was like, dude, I don't think I'm going to make it. He's like, I was waiting for this call. I couldn't believe that you agreed to do this in the first place. So, I mean, in hindsight, I made the right choice. I had to be there.
I feel like you think that was probably like the first compromise or like decision you had to do as a dad?
That's a great question, Wags. Yeah, I mean, it was the first big choice I had to make. Like, and I remember calling like my in-laws, and I was like, "Are you guys gonna be around?" Like, and this was before like Kenzie was even born. I was like, "Are you gonna be around to help out Shannon? Like, if I do go to London?" And they were like, "Oh, like that's gonna be tough." Like,
oh boy,
they were like, "That's the fourth trimester," and I was like, "What are they talking about?" Like the fourth trimester. That's like the first 3 months, the newborn phase. It's like it's part of like the whole journey, on your pregnancy journey and whatnot. So
I think that was a great segue though, because I think you're right. I think in our friend group, that was probably the first legitimate like time you actually were like, damn. And that's a part of being a dad is making sacrifices. And we're just in the beginning of it. And obviously we don't claim to be experts, but it's tough. But I mean, you made the right decision. We were all knew that was coming.
Sometimes you just got to be a dad, you know, and shout out to Mr. Bruno because he kept me updated every step of the way.
Selfie king.
I was getting the play-by-play from each pub you hit, you know, like from all the like bathrooms from like the 18th century, you know, and like the actual Chelsea match against Everton. So like he was keeping me updated. So I felt like I was there, but we got to make a trip back. So, you know, let's agree to that. Yep. So. I think Vinny might be going there next week, huh?
He is.
Oh, right. Well, safe travels, Vin, you know, and
enjoy.
Yeah, can't wait to have you on the show one day too. So yeah, let's get into it.
Craig, what's your outside perspective of me and Kendrick as fathers? I've been dying to know that, like, true.
Yeah, Wags have been kind of like watching from the sideline in a way, right? I mean, like
outside looking in.
He's seen us, like, you know, I got the 2 kids now. TJ's got Trip, who's like 1.5, and you know. And baby Ava, you know, baby Bruno, like she's going on like, geez, like 6 months almost. So
yeah, she's getting there.
And Craig's been watching. Craig's a dog dad too. Shout out Luna.
Yeah.
All right. So, but he's been watching, and he's also a very experienced uncle. So we'll let him talk about that. But yeah, what's your perspective on all that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess in some ways, like it's still hasn't fully hit me that you guys are like in charge of little human lives.
The same people that were throwing chalk over your wall.
I mean, I think it's just so cool to see. I feel like, you know, obviously you guys have taken, you know, everything changes. So you're taking on those huge responsibilities, but like I feel like, you know, you're still, you know, true to who you are. Like, I don't feel like you've changed as people. Like, any changes have been positive. And it's just like, it's funny to see you guys with like straps with a tush baby.
Yeah, tush
like,
baby.
that's what I'm like, oh yeah, like they're in full dad mode right now.
Yes,
the accessories is what really puts it over the top.
We got
but
rags, we got snot suckers, we got it all.
Yeah, but it's, I mean, and I just think it's great. Like, I think you guys have touched on it a lot, but like you and, you know, hopefully other millennial and newer dads are like just so much more involved and like wanting to be, you know, helping out as much as you can and like making sure you're spending that quality time with your kids. And I feel like they say, I feel like, this might not be a direct quote, but I feel like I heard something that it's like, you know, 90% of parenting is just showing up.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And, or 100%.
Yeah.
10% for like actual like good parenting, but
Right.
90% just being there. And I
Yeah.
feel like that's what your kids are going to remember the most. Like looking back, just like all the times that you guys were there for them. And TJ, after he wraps up here, you're going to have trick-or-treating with your boy and being there for those
Halloween.
things. So like, yeah, I would just say like, I'm very impressed with like how dedicated you guys are, at least, you know, looking from afar.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. We try to
my-
like practice what we preach, but like TJ was just talking about how you put your phone away at night, right? Like and your quality time with Trip.
He sounds like a dad already. Like that was such
Yeah.
good advice. Like 90% is showing up. And when he said that, I literally thought of the whole phone thing. And
Right.
it's true. It's like
just live in
you
the
get
moment.
limited with our busy lives, and you got to be there for them. And that's my biggest goal, is to be there. And like you said, yeah, Tom's River does things different. I mean, they've always done it. You trick or treat the night before.
Yeah.
We got hit with a nor'easter here in New Jersey on Thursday, so they canceled that. So now it got postponed to today. So after this, yes, I'm going to trick or treat with my little boy.
Core memories, yeah.
Core memories. And you went yesterday. You said it was awesome. So
Yeah,
that was
we were,
cool.
We were talking on the way up, you know, talk about dad wins and dad fails, you know, all within the same hour. I could talk a little bit about that. Yeah, we had trick or treating yesterday on actual Halloween. Raider Nation and TR, they're built different, but yeah. So we had trick or treating and we got all dressed up in our Frozen costumes. Maybe I can, you know, post a picture at least of my Kristoff costume. But yeah, for the Frozen fans out there, we had Sven, we had Princess Anna, we had that was my wife, and then Queen Elsa.
That was my guess. I was like, at first, I thought maybe Shannon was going to be Elsa. And then I'm like,
Nah, Kenzie's got the platinum blonde hair.
Yeah.
She basically already looks like Elsa. The cold doesn't bother her anyway. So, yeah. And a little mini dad hack here. When you are trick-or-treating with your kids, if you do go out when it starts to get a little later, like we prefer to do it when the sun's up, but we were going out for like an hour or two actually, and it got dark. So it's good to have some sort of light up gear or even like costume so you could see your kids. Like, I mean, we were obviously like right there with her holding her hand. We just did our own cul-de-sac street. That was it, but she had this Queen Elsa dress and it lit up and it was awesome. So we could always see where she was at. And so back to the dad win and the dad fail. Let's start with the fail. I know you want to hear that. So as I'm setting up for Halloween, I get a little stressed. I try to live in the moment, but I'm always trying to get the candy set and the music set. And we haven't gone all out yet with the two kids. It's tough to get ready for Halloween, but I'm trying to get Pandora set up. I know I'm talking about Unc status. I'm grandpa status. I use Pandora still. I mean, yeah, sorry. But
do you have to get the aux cord out for that?
Technology always fails me. I'm trying to use the Fire Stick and try to get Pandora set up. It's taking forever.
I'm just one phone call away.
You're the
tech guy. Come on.
I need a whole tech revamp in the Daryl.
We were laughing. We left my house and my wife's like, "Oh, don't forget the blow up Bluey." We have like a blow up Bluey, and of course Kendrick's like going to look for the switch, and Emma's like, "No, it's on his phone." And Kendrick's like, "Oh, okay."
TJ.
So we get in the car and I hit the button. And I'm like, I text my wife, "All right, check the Bluey," because we already pulled off, and he's like, "That is so you." I'm like, I can't help myself.
Tech guy. So yeah, TJ, I gotta have you over. But I eventually, I'm trying to get the Pandora going. I gave up on it. But Carson, our son, he's almost one. He's at that like drunken walking stage, where he's like trying to like take some steps on his own. He was propped up on the couch, right? Like, so he wasn't on the couch, but he was standing with his hands on the couch. So he was very stable. And I had to go switch something with the TV, which is like 5 feet away from him. So like, I was like, "All right, buddy, you stay there," right? So like, I go over real quick. I'm like sprinting over to the TV, like hit a button to try to change it to the Fire Stick. And he tries to take a walk and face plants like right on the carpet. I'm like, oh, here we go. Starting the trick-or-treating. He is sobbing. I'm like checking his nose, make sure it's not broken, make sure his 4 teeth are still there. He's got his 4.5 teeth still. He's got one coming in. And so he's sobbing. I'm like, great. Like our family's all over. I'm like, it's a good start to trick-or-treating. And so I'm trying to get him some ice and calm him down. So that was dad fail. I should have stayed with him, help him crawl. But, it's a fine line of trying to help them, like know when to catch them and know when to let them just fall on their own. So that's the dad fail. Dad win. Trick-or-treating was a huge success after we put that aside, like we got dressed up. We did the whole street this year, which was like,
that's big.
15 houses, man. Like,
wow.
And we had a fun time the entire duration. Like our neighbors 4, he was a mailman, shout out Finley. Yeah, he was a garbage man last year. He was a mailman this year. And so, him and Kenzie, my daughter, they're holding hands like the whole way, going up to the houses saying trick or treat, happy Halloween, and waving by. It was the coolest thing. So like that was a huge success. The weather in Jersey, you never know on Halloween.
No.
We had like pretty warm costumes. Like my son was Sven, so he was in this like, fluffy reindeer outfit, which kept him warm. And the princesses put some Under Armour under their outfits so they stayed warm. And yeah, it was just like some core memories there trick-or-treating. So
going off the whole dad win loss thing.
What you got?
It just popped in my head, a win at least. I could have swore sometime in the last week I got home from work, and that's my favorite part of the day. As long as Bluey isn't on the TV, Trip hears me come in. If he's on, he doesn't. But
so you're a close second to Bluey?
Yeah.
It's so funny for me. It was my siblings would just put me in front of Barney.
That was
It
same.
went from Barney to Bluey.
Yeah.
Same.
Can't compete with Barney or Bluey. Yeah. So next level.
He what TV wasn't on, and he heard me coming in the door, and he starts like running up, and he's like kind of doing the drunk walk still, but he's walking good now.
Oh yeah.
And I go and give him a hug, and I could have swore he said, "Hey, Dada," like really quickly, and I was like, okay. And then I looked at my wife as like I was grabbing him. I was like, did he just say? And she's like, I think he did. Like it was like a connection where we looked at each other, and I was like, am I not crazy, right? Like I don't want, like obviously I want to hear that, and he can say dad, but like the way he did it so slight, it was almost like, oh my God.
Conversation.
Like, it was like a win. It was like,
with
Wow,
your
that's
son.
awesome.
Yeah.
So
It's his favorite word.
whether it happened or not, I'd like to think it did. So, I had to
Come on,
share
Trip.
that.
Trip, you got to say mama more. Come on. Shout out Emma.
He does it just nonchalantly. It's so
Yeah.
funny.
Are you want to talk real quick, TJ, about what you're going to be for trick or treating later today?
Oh yeah, Mr. Aaron.
Oh yeah, I can't remember if
The
we mentioned
infamous
that.
Miss Rachel. I think we did touch upon that.
Oh, yeah,
And Trip's going to be the
Stay tuned for some pictures.
Miss Rachel's dog.
Herbie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we touched on that.
All right, so that'll be
yes.
fun. We got to go back to the uncle here. So I mean,
What do you got?
were you part of any trick or treating like in the past or this year? With I mean, you want to give a quick background? I know you have 2 nephews, 2 nieces.
Yeah, so I've been an uncle for about 11 years now.
Way longer than we've been dads. Way longer.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, it's apples and oranges. I certainly don't want to compare the two.
But some would say you have way more experience than we do. So
in some areas, maybe. But
Has it really been that long?
yeah, so my oldest nephew, Mark, he's in middle school now.
be a teenager soon.
It's gonna be teenage. No, not too soon. He's still got a couple years. Don't rush it.
He ran like
His parents, I'm sure it's hard enough. Even for me, I can't take him being a teenager. But
he ran that race with us. He did like a mile run.
yes,
You know?
yeah.
Like,
So
maybe a
he's-
5K soon.
yeah, he'll be taller than all of us in a couple years.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, he's my oldest nephew, and then next one was Tommy. About a year later, from my other sister Megan, and then both my sisters did boy girl, and they're all between
Same order.
between the 4 of them. They're all roughly a year apart.
That must have been fun watching them grow up. Like,
Yeah,
all
so-
the stages.
You got Mark, Tommy, Maddie, Emily. They will. They're big YouTube.
Are they going to be supporting us here?
They're
Subscribe,
big.
Mark.
Yeah, I might have to get them. No, actually, no. Their parents want. They're trying to cut down the YouTube time. But
Shout out Katie, Megan, Nick,
But,
Tom. Let's go.
I gotta give my nieces and nephews a shout out because they'll be excited that they're getting shouted out on YouTube.
Yeah, you guys are going to be like TikTok famous pretty soon.
Famous.
I might actually. They might actually think I'm cool after that if they find out.
Yeah, it's the
I'm
cool
down.
uncle, right? That's what it's all
Yeah.
about, being the fun uncle.
They definitely, they don't always give me the utmost respect. They know how to keep me in check.
Are you the disciplinarian when you're hanging with them, or are you just kind of like embracing your fun uncle status?
Yeah, so I mean that's like an interesting thing about being an uncle. There definitely are times. I mean, it's more so like, if my siblings are like they're dropping them off, and I'm like more or less like the one that's supervising them at that time. I might be nothing crazy, but yeah, a little bit more discipline, being a little bit more stern if they're getting a little too rowdy.
Got to teach them young. Teach 'em
Yeah,
young, wow.
but it's also, it's a balance. And like, I feel like I learned to kind of, every family dynamic, every kid is different. And like, in terms of like, oh, well, maybe I would have handled this situation differently if it was my kid or something like that. But like, I just realized over the years that like, it's just, you can't judge a situation. Like it's, because I feel like that's like a thing. You guys kind of talked about it last time in terms of like comparing.
right.
And also just being around, like, I mean, I'm preaching to the choir. Sometimes kids are just chaos and like you're just holding on for dear life.
Sometimes you got to go to the screen, right, TJ?
And so,
It's just
yeah,
like,
like-
The uncle doesn't have to change the diapers. It's
Right.
like a different world.
that was my next
It's
question.
like, oh, you have fun, then here you go. It's like the
Yeah.
grandparents just hand them right back. So
Do you have any diaper change
Oh
experience?
man,
Wow.
yeah, this is my biggest shame as an uncle,
Oh
I
my
guess.
goodness. How many diapers have they gone through? Your 4?
0 diapers changed.
all right.
But the way I look at it is this. So, like when we had like a family dog growing up, like I almost never picked up after the dog.
Chip?
Yeah, Chip or Wags. I don't even know if you guys remember. He was this huge dog. Those were some big pickups. But
And Chip. Yeah, good times.
and then like when I got my own dog, it's like, I'm the one responsible for it. So I obviously got to clean up. So I think when the time comes, when it's my own kid, I'll be ready to change the diapers. I'll step up. But I'm like, not my kid, not my problem. Like,
Can I sub in real quick with a dad hack?
Please.
Because, this is perfect segue. Like, all right, so you can watch from the sideline. It's almost like, spectators watching a football game, like, oh, why didn't they call this play? That would have been so much better. They easily would have won the game, right? I mean, it's like so much easier to watch from the couch and be like, oh, yeah, I mean, that would have been a piece of cake to change that diaper. All right, so diaper change has many levels to it, as TJ can relate to. As I pulled up to TJ's house this morning as he was doing his hair up all nice, his wife was changing their son's diaper. So shout out Emma.
I didn't even know this. Thanks for letting me know.
Yeah, you were upstairs, getting all dolled up.
Yeah.
Picking out your outfit. So, I mean, we got to see the breakdown of the husband-wife diaper ratio there. But
she's got me beat. But
TJ,
I am good with diapers.
Yeah, no, you're getting close to.
Or you know what we do? We do the handoff.
Yeah.
So she'll do it in the bedroom like at night, and she's like, "Take this," especially if it's number 2.
Oh yeah.
And I'll go and I'll put it in.
That's a big roll.
Dad hack. Put the diaper in a doggy bag.
Ooh.
Because I have a little dog, so I have them drip it off, and then you tie it up, no smell. Because if you late at night, sometimes I don't want to go outside,
Right.
So I'll just throw it in my garbage, and you don't smell it. That's a good hack.
Diaper
actually.
Genie also.
That just
I
popped
don't
my
know
head.
if you heard of the Diaper Genie, but that's basically
So
like
I had that,
a little
but
trash can. You just drop it in there and it eliminates most of the smell.
yeah, we had that, and we had it. We were having issues with I feel like the smell was leaking into his room, so we just took it out totally, and we just put it on ourselves. Like, all right, we got to go take it out.
During the newborn phase, we were using the Diaper Genie until it was maxed out. You couldn't squeeze any more diapers into that. I couldn't stuff anymore. That's why I was like, it's time to change the
In the
bag.
beginning, it's definitely it's
you're
hard
doing
to-
8 diapers a day.
Now it's a little easier to do.
Yes. So let me get back to the stages here. So you go through I feel like there's 4 stages of diaper changing, and their newborns are just laying there, and you're dealing with this tar in the first week you're dealing with this meconium. Look that up. Yeah. So
mine was blown by
for the uncle, maybe one day dad. Kevin was like,
I've seen a little bit of that from afar, but
yeah. So I mean that's some interesting diaper change. That's when I was in the hospital with the nurses. Can you do this one? Show me how it's done. I don't want to mess it up, but yeah. So then it transitions to some softer, runnier stuff. And then anyway, the point is you got to have some distractors, right? So as you go, let's say upgrade levels, you graduate to different levels of diaper change. You got to have some distractors because my son is he's a state champ wrestler. I feel like I'm doing these crazy moves trying to get his leg, keep him down and get the diaper taped on there, right? It's when we did the diaper change challenge the one time, and I don't even think we did it justice because it was the champ. We got to have stage 4 where you're the kid's rolling on you.
Going off that, another hack. And I actually showed my wife this, and she uses it every night because she likes to put him down. That's her thing. You actually turn them around, and so that their head is facing by your crotch, basically, but they're facing the other way, and you put your legs over their arms.
Okay.
And they can't move.
Legs over their arms.
It's like putting 2 dumbbells like this.
You
feel bad,
on
but
them.
you got to do what you got to do.
How about the
and that works because she'll. That's after you change a diaper. This is when you need to brush your teeth.
Okay,
works perfect.
You got that. You got
and
just
they'll
trying
still
to get him in the
flail
outfit.
around.
Yeah.
If I'm up there, I'll try to distract him. But
Dude, how about the reverse? Do you do any reverse diapers? They're on their stomach. You're trying to get the diaper on backwards.
That's hard.
Yeah,
you can do the standing up.
I do the vertical
I hold the
diapers.
back, and she pulls the tape over. You could do that.
Sometimes I'm telling my wife, Shannon, can you just put this diaper on him? I'm just holding him. I can't wrestle him right now.
Literally, I was gonna say these sound like wrestling moves.
I'm telling you, these kids. I saw Trip this morning.
I know we're going back
champ.
and forth, but you'll see one day. You do what you can. You figure these things out.
So dad hack, have some distractors there. Have some fun toys that can hold on to while you're trying to get 20 seconds to clean them and get a new diaper on. You got to be like a NASCAR pit crew. You got to be quick with these diapers, you can't be lollygagging around, taking your sweet time, making sure everything's super clean. Just do your best.
That was the best
strap a diaper on.
Simile or whatever comparison you want.
It's a NASCAR pit crew.
It literally is because we've gotten mad at each other before because the other one's taking too long. What are you doing?
I need this diaper now. Give me the A&D cream. Come on, right now. I don't have time to waste. So
it sounds so silly, but it's the truth.
Yeah. Did you feel early on it was tag teaming and then you graduated to solo missions or?
Yeah, in some aspects. I mean, I feel during the nighttime diapers, I would try to take one for the team,
Right.
and do that because like every 5 minutes of sleep, like you'll see one day, like
Yeah.
you appreciate that. So I would like when they're waking up with a dirty diaper, like I'd change them quick, and then kind of wakes them up, and then they're ready to eat, and then I'd hand them off to my wife, So like that was the nighttime diapers. But even now, like I feel like it's tougher when they're older. Like like we got Carson, my son's in size 5 diapers now. I don't know about Trip, but like he's got to be pushing size 6 or 7 by now, right?
Not that big, but not 6 or 7.
That wasn't even on purpose.
I don't even know if those sizes are real, but
I think
do they go up to 7?
What is the max? Yeah, size 7.
Kendrick's hitting the 6'7".
Yeah, I picked up on it.
That was an unintentional
He's got
6'7".
these young kids that
All these unintentional.
Yeah, like my man Terry. I gotta ask him about 6'7", see what his thoughts are on that. But yeah, I mean, I feel like that's tougher because then they're like, like they got this like short, like attention span already, and they're like 12 months. They want to like move around and play while they're getting their diaper changes. Like, just can you sit here for 15 seconds? Like, so I mean, that's the tough part. So like sometimes we'll do 2 tag team diaper if we have the chance, I'm like, hey, I'll call my daughter over, like, Kenzie, I need backup. Can you talk to Carson and then I can change his diaper quick? But
that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's like that. So that's my dad hack. And especially if you have a son, if you have a boy, you can relate to this. you got to have a rag, especially in the first, like 6 months, right? Like
first 6 months for sure.
You got to have an extra diaper ready, or a rag on top of like that area because you're gonna get sprayed if you're not careful.
Rag's definitely the best. In my opinion,
you got to be proactive on that
because it'll absorb it and not get hit.
That's what I did. Yeah, I did a rag, but
luckily I never got that.
Yeah,
my wife, I can't say the same. I think it happened over like twice.
I definitely got I got the pee on the wall. Like talk about like some vertical like some stream there. Like thing goes like freaking like all over. I'm like, okay, well I got to clean that whole wall now. Luckily I didn't get like the movie like like straight in the face with the pee, but like I think of This Is 40. I think that's the movie or Role Models. I always go back to that or I have to look that up. It's when they swap. It's Ryan Reynolds and Jason Bateman, I'm pretty sure, and they swap lives. And like he's getting peed on in the face, and he's just like, "This is my life." Yeah,
I know what he's talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so it is hilarious. But yeah, so I haven't gotten that, but definitely pee goes all over the place. Like even like in airports, and on a plane, I'm like, oh my goodness, like
how does the plane work?
The plane bathroom.
It's a
for
nightmare.
Parents that have tried to change a diaper on a plane, you can relate, right? I mean, this place isn't even big enough for like yourself, let alone a newborn, and you're trying to put them down and like get the whole diaper bag set up. It's just like they really need a family changing station on a plane.
He brings up a good point though, because like you're already in a little tiny space, yourself going into a plane, and for the couple times we've been on, I offer him like, you want me to help you or whatever, and she's like, not really, because there's no room. Like I don't even think if her and I went in together, number one, people will be like, what's going on?
They're making number 2 in there. Baby number 2 on the way.
Physically, I don't think you can do it. They have a thing that drops down like, in restrooms, but we joke because like afterwards I'd be like, so how did that go? I haven't personally done that because she just takes it on.
Oh,
but
man, I offer it, man. Check that off the bucket list.
And she's like, no, I'll do it. I'm like, okay, like that's cool. Like and then I'll just be like, is everything good? And she's like, yeah, this and that. And so far we haven't had any bad experiences.
So you've been on one flight with Trip to Aruba or
3.
multiple? 3?
Yeah,
he's a world traveler.
You guys have both done a lot of. You guys got hot tips for planes, little kids.
Yeah, biggest tip out there: make sure either whether you breastfeed or you give them a bottle, do it when you take off and when you land. That is the number one tip.
Huge fact.
Not stress that enough.
That makes sense.
Because it helps the babies with their ears. Because you can imagine when you're a kid, your ears hurt, and a baby, it kills them. But
Last thing you want.
When they drink, it actually relieves the pressure in their ear tubes. Yeah. And there's no issues.
Last thing you want is a baby with like, the ears all clogged up.
Good question. So, that's the biggest thing I would say.
I got to shout out my brother-in-law, Tom, because I was nervous for you guys when you were taking your first flights because we went, when my nephew Tommy was, I don't know, maybe 2 years old, we went out to California for a cousin's wedding. And I flew back with my brother-in-law and my nephew, and it's like, California, it's like a 5-6 hour flight at night. And he cried like maybe all but 10 minutes of the flight back.
Oh my goodness.
And Tom has not gotten on a plane since that day.
It's like we are driving.
Now they are camper people.
3,000 miles.
Which is awesome. They go on great trips. But yeah, I feel like that first flight with a kid can make or break you.
So I'm actually glad you brought that up, because the last flight we had was to Aruba for my cousin got married, and on the way there he was awesome. On the way back, about halfway through, he started screaming, and I always thought to myself, like, I never want to be in that position, and I was fully in that position, and I was doing my best not to panic, and we were doing everything to soothe him. We were trying everything, and it turns out after the fact, when we brought him to the doctor next day, he had ear infections. Naturally, I mean, there was nothing we could have done about that. So the pressure is what really, when we got up there, is what killed him. So all I remember is, like, I told my wife, like, just give him to me. Like, I'll just walk down the aisle. Like, I don't even care. Like, if it gets him to, like, soothe. And the only thing that worked was me walking him up the aisle. And it's funny because you're like, oh, these people will probably hate me. And when you're in the moment, and I'm looking at the people, and, like, a lot of people were, like, watching me. And I actually think they were, like, looking at me like, oh, like, wow, like, good for him. Like, he's trying his best. Like, more people related to me, from what I can understand, that didn't, which made me feel good. Like, I was doing everything in my power, because you feel bad,
right?
Disrupting the plane. Everyone's on top of each other, and it did work. And then we'd sit down for a little bit, and then he'd be fine. But then I'd have to get up again and do it. And yeah, I can relate to that totally.
Oh man,
it was bad. It sucks.
I mean,
I just was like, you know what? I'm doing what I can, and if people don't like it, it is what it is. But I definitely, thank God, maybe it was just who was on there. Like, I could tell, like, especially, like, the women, they were like, they give you a look like, oh, like, good for you. Like,
well, I feel like I'm always on a flight to Orlando, so it's just packed full of kids, So we're always like, oh, I hope it's not our kids, but there's always some kid that's crying. There's like a 3-week-old baby usually on the
flight. Don't you like
everybody's going to Disney.
Personally, I look at that so differently
now.
Oh,
100%.
Like, totally differently than I ever did.
And I was never really one to be like, oh, man, I can't believe I'm sitting next to the kid here. You're going to kick my seat the whole time.
Yeah, and
I never really worried about that.
Agree. I wasn't like that, but, like, the screaming baby, you're like, oh, man, this sucks.
I actually knew.
Now I'm like, oh, man, I feel bad for those parents. Like,
I'm still waiting for it. Like, I feel like this is gonna come for me like tenfold, because, like, apparently my parents tell me when I was little, like maybe 1 or 2, I was on a flight and I just thought it was funny to, like, stand up and turn around at the whole plane because we were near the front and just scream. Like, wasn't even upset, just scream because I thought it was funny. And, like, I was just doing that for the whole flight, and they were like, it was hard to stop me. So, and I've done that in restaurants apparently too, growing up. And I feel like every kid maybe goes through that. But I mean, our kids have been pretty good. I mean, we've been on a lot of flights. I'm a huge advocate of take your kids everywhere. Like, no reason to be like, I mean, sure, there's cases where you want to maybe have a date night or like an anniversary trip, and you want to leave the kids with the babysitters or the grandparents or whatever. But, like, just take them to Charlie Blood's. They'll hang out with them at the bar. Like, like, they're great with kids. Terry will hang with them here in the Cowboy Room, and take them wherever you want. But they've been pretty good on all the flights. We flew to freaking Greece. Like,
Hey, they had a nanny there.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we had our nanny, TJ.
Nanny.
Oh my goodness. Hilarious story. Like, so shout out to Kevin for getting married. Kevin and Taylor, the Huffs. They got married in Santorini. And when they told us the news, we're like, wow, we're doing the math here. Like, my wife was like 6 months pregnant, and we had our daughter who was 18 months at the time, and we're like, we're going to fly 10 hours to Greece. So, yeah, let's just do that. And sure enough, I mean, luckily we had a TV. We had a screen on the whatever flight, United, I think we flew. We had a nice screen. So she was watching Frozen and Finding Nemo. And, like, you got to go to the screens at some point on a 10-hour flight, because she didn't really nap. She was all excited. But, like, we got on the plane. TJ's like our bag guy, we called him. He's carrying all our bags, all the baby stuff.
Well, not all the bags.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's another
Talk
hiccup.
about a dad.
Let me go through the story quick.
Yeah.
So, like, we drop our daughter. Like, this is how much I trust TJ. Literally drop our 18-month-old daughter off with TJ.
I loaded on the plane first.
Yeah.
I had a closer seat to the front.
Right.
I
So
was
TJ's near the
So
front.
I said, Kendrick,
Yeah.
give me Mackenzie.
Right. So I dropped Kenzie off with him, and they're hanging out, and she's having a good time, checking out the technology. And then Shannon and I, my wife, we go get set up in the back, and then I went up there like 2 minutes later, and they're having a grand old time. I was like, I should just leave her up here.
Yeah, I was like,
take a power nap. Like TJ, he's on like uncle duty right now, So that was great.
I had not even 3
Trip was
months
just
old at
born.
home, so I was like, yeah, we're not doing that.
That's a little young.
That's why I was like,
fly
wow.
that far. Yeah.
I had such an admiration for you to do that. That's why I was like, whatever you need, I'm in, because like that's a big feat. Like
At
me
the wedding.
personally, I was like, no. Also, he wasn't even 3 months, so I didn't feel comfortable yet doing that, and it was tough for me to even go on that trip to begin with because everything was so new.
I know that meant a lot to Kevin and Taylor that you were. even there.
And I mean, I told Emma, I was like, he's one of my best friends. I'd feel horrible not going, and she agreed, and we kind of just. That was our compromise. That was probably our biggest first compromise. I was like, I got to go, and I don't think you guys should go. And she agreed. And I was like, I just think there's too many logistics to be freaked out. And then I kind of naturally went to dad mode for you, and
it was
worked
great.
out.
We're walking through the airport, and they were like, "He's with you?" I was like, "Yeah, he's with us."
Wait, but specify that was in Europe.
Yes.
In the United States,
Right.
they were like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
In Europe, they're like, oh,
were
you have a
treating us-
baby? Boom, cut
treating
the
us like
entire line of
kings.
100 people. And then they didn't want me to come. And they're like, no, that's the nanny. And I cut in with them. It was the first time in my life I was like, yes, I am the nanny.
The one security, like,
Kendrick being as global as he is, and I love him for that. I said, no, Kendrick, we're going this way. I pushed him. He didn't want to go through. I'm like, no, we're going to go through here. Literally, there was only 2 dedicated lines for whoever they pick out of the crowd. I'm like, no, we just cut literally 100 people.
it
We're
would
going.
have taken hours.
And he's like, are you sure? I'm like, yes. And I was pushing.
The one
I
lady
had, like,
looked
I
at
think
us.
I had Kenzie's hand. I'm like, come on, honey, like let's go.
Yeah.
Like
She's
we're
like
not going
shaking her
back.
head, like, "Oh man, 2024, like these families here, But like they were like, "All right, we're not gonna question it. He's with them."
That was a good time.
That was great. So I mean, the flight, she made a 10-hour flight there and back. I mean, the 8-hour time change. Like Craig, you were obviously there, with your wife, and you guys were coming over our hotel room like at 2 a.m, and our daughter was still rallying because she was on like New Jersey time, and we were going to the hot tub looking at UFOs.
And it was, I mean, I was just thinking as we were like reminiscing on this, because Kenzie was not feeling well the first like day or two.
I almost forgot all about that.
And I'm like, that was like probably a moment where I was like, I really got to see you like parenting in like a tough situation, and like your patience with that. Cause it's like, yeah, it's just completely different. Cause you're like, oh, we're in Santorini. I just want to go around, have a great time. It's like one of the most beautiful places in the world.
Oh yeah. hands
But like,
down.
you got to slow it down. You got to make sure Kenzie's doing all right. You got Shannon who's pregnant.
Yeah.
And like, and so we obviously wanted to hang out. So we were like keeping it more low key at first as well. But like, yeah, I feel like you hit a really good balance of going on vacation, bringing your kids, like not having like, oh, we can't go because we have a kid, or we have to leave them behind, so we can't have that experience with them. Versus like maybe not doing all the crazy things that you would normally do, but it's like finding that balance that works for you. And I feel like you guys nailed it on that trip.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, we were nerve-wracking. It was nerve-wracking just to think about bringing her and like, my pregnant wife, like, because, shout out to my wife. She had to like walk the plane, like for a 10-hour flight, and you're 6 months pregnant. Like she had these.
All you do is walk there.
Yeah, she had compression socks on, like there's a whole like thing about like just trying to keep your blood flowing, and like avoid like blood clots and stuff like that. So she's like up the whole flight, like every hour, like just walking, and we had to do a lot of rocking with our, our daughter, Kenzie, and just moving her around, like just to change up the scenery. But yeah, I thought it was like a great trip. I wouldn't have had it any other way. I mean, we went on a tour like one of the first days when we had like some downtime.
George.
Yeah, with George.
Everyone's George.
All the Georges in Greece. So, but that was our favorite George. And he drove us all around Santorini, gave us the tour. And Kenzie, I think, napped most of that tour, which she needed that.
It.
So Shannon just stayed in the car with George and her, and they just napped. And Craig and Thine and I took a tour of the Santorini, which was awesome.
I think this is good that we talked about this because it gives a lot of hope for parents out there that or unsure. Maybe they have a trip coming up. Because
go for it.
I mean, I didn't want to do it, and I actually remember going to Greece. After I was done with Kenzie and we were in the flight, there was actually a couple in front of me diagonally, and they had the front row. And I didn't know this, but they do bassinets, I guess, on the long European flights. You can request one, and they put the baby in it.
Oh yeah.
And at one point, I was just like watching them because I was so curious, and I looked at the woman; she was on the end, and I was like, my son's about 3 months and on here for a wedding, but I didn't feel confident. She was like. She's like, I think you made the right choice, and that made me feel so good because I was like, there was like a piece of me missing.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I even told you this.
Oh, I know you missed your family a
and
ton. I mean, that was really tough. I mean,
she made me like feel good because she was like, no, she's like, actually, like, I don't know if it was her family or her husband's family or actually lived in Greece, and that's why they were going. And her daughter or son and thing was 6 months, and she's like, if I were in your position, I wouldn't have brought him either. So I was like, oh, that made me feel so much better.
Yeah,
going there. That was on my mind.
Yeah, next time you have a huge trip, you'll be ready to bring Trip. And,
oh yeah,
and Emma.
Now he's good to go.
Yeah, man, that was some core memories there in Greece. I mean, like, I'll never forget the views and the moments we had out there. Like, and Kenzie was the only. Correct me if I'm wrong. She was the only little kid there. There were no little kids.
No.
Yeah, it was all.
Not that I remember, right?
Yeah, it was all like adults. Like
it was. It was such a beautiful wedding.
Shout out to my daughter Kenzie. Kenzie got the dance floor going at the wedding.
She was crushing pizzas.
She was out there. She was eating pizza. She was dancing. Somebody's got to open up the dance floor. And
you need at least one little kid.
Leave it to the 18-month-old. Yeah, she got it going. So I mean, that was and she rallied when she felt better after the first couple nights. Like, it was perfect timing. She was at the rehearsal dinner, and the Huffs had the fireworks at the rehearsal dinner, and that was her first time enjoying fireworks because she didn't really like the noise in Disney, but I covered her ears and she was loving it. She was amazed.
I still have people say like, hey, didn't he have like a crazy wedding? I said, yes, he did.
Yes, that was the best wedding ever. So besides my own, but yeah, so that was Greece in a nutshell. So yeah, take your kids on your glamorous vacations. Go for it. Yeah, I mean,
don't be shy to travel. For sure. I think me and you are both like very aligned with that.
Yeah, you got to be prepared. Obviously,
more so in terms of like the camping and everything. But yeah, Trip's been on 3 flights.
That's awesome. 2
international, 1 domestic. His first was domestic, and then 2 international, and that's a lot for his age. And we owned it, and you just, obviously it helps to prepare.
Right.
So
yeah, no, you got to be prepared, be proactive, but yeah, go for it. I mean, don't be afraid.
It also helps them line up for like the future, I believe, like in their lives. Like it helps.
I think the more you expose your kids to at a young age, the easier they'll be able to handle it down the road.
It's
like you don't want to keep them, like in your house for the first 3-4 years.
To compare that, it's like Em and I will always argue about like when he goes down. It's like she always just like, oh, be quiet, lower the TV and this and that. And it's like, no, like I want him to be used to like a louder environment so we don't ever have that issue if we ever have to go anywhere. Like,
right.
And it's funny, like you talk to people and they're like, yeah, no, like just do whatever you got to do. Don't be like obnoxious, but don't be particularly like quiet. And
right.
I get where she's coming from. She wants him to sleep in that stuff, but it's like, no, he's just got to get used to it because it'll benefit us in the future.
Yeah.
So that's always like a thing like we always go back and forth with, and that's reality. I'm sure other couples have that.
Exactly.
So,
Wags, for Uncle Craig here.
Yeah.
Down the road, like, is there something that you are either nervous about or like, that when you get hopefully upgraded from uncle to like, dad status one day, like, is there something that you are, like I haven't had enough practice with this as an uncle, like, like how's that dynamic? Are you nervous? Are you excited for, future?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm like at the point in my life now where like I'm excited for those challenges and kind of course, like, I'm a overthinker, overplanner. So like when the time comes, like, yeah, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not going to be nervous or worrying about certain things.
You are a lawyer,
but yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I know there's going to be ups and downs, but there's also like one point that I kind of like wanted to raise and ask you, like in terms of something that I enjoy as an uncle that I'm also looking forward to when the time comes to be a dad is like, other than like seeing your nieces and nephews like grow up and form their own personalities and, you know, kind of forge their way through life. Like that's obviously a really cool part about being an uncle. But selfishly, the thing that I love most about being an uncle is it really, I feel like I connect with like my inner child and like I feel young again, like playing with them, like, you know, just doing things that I did as a kid. Like you talked about the sleepovers.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Those are the best days of our
Like-
lives. Like,
A couple years
Was that
back,
the coolest thing to look forward to?
like
Yeah.
a couple years back, like my nephew stayed over at my mom's house when I was down visiting. So we had a sleepover and we were all just hanging out and talking till way past their bedtime. And Tommy's like, I got Sunday school in the morning. I'm never going to fall asleep.
that was great. Tommy, who was like 10 or 11 at the time, he's worried about not getting like his 8 hours.
And just laughing and like, just kind of like when you're just hanging out and you get into these weird conversations or things. Like they asked me what I do. I tried to explain what a lawyer is. Their conclusion was that I'm a butler. So that's like the inside joke. They call me a butler.
In their defense, we still don't understand quite what you do. Wag, so.
It's all right. We'll save that for another time. But like those moments are like just so cool. And like I'm looking forward to that. And like, I guess to flip it back to you, like, do you get those feelings and like what are the kinds of things you do with your kids that like brings you back to like your childhood, those core memories?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I feel like the kids definitely keep you young. Like, I mean, you're kind of forced to, you got to go back to like, you're just, and if you don't embrace it, it's going to be like, it's going to be frustrating. It's going to feel like chores. Like you got to just put like your kid, you know, your kid face on and just like get on the floor and start playing again. And just like have like a grand old time. I mean, like Kenzie tells me all the time, she's like, I'm going to be a teacher like Dada and Mama. And I'm like, oh, you want to be a teacher? I'm like, okay, yeah, you get summers off. That's pretty cool. So, you know, there's some perks to that, but yeah, it's just like, they totally keep you young. Like, I mean, they also like make you feel some ailments too. Like, you know, you feel old at the same time, if that makes any sense. So might be able to relate to that, TJ. But
No, it was a great question. I think the whole part about being a parent is pretty much reliving your childhood in their perspective. And I've actually seen things like that, and it's true. It's that I think is the exciting element. Like watching my son go through these motions, it's like I picture like maybe that's how it was for me when I was a kid, and it is very exciting. And honestly, like from what you're getting as being an uncle right now, multiply that by like 10.
yeah,
Not just like 2, like 10. It's
even
that
as a dog dad.
Yeah.
Well, in some ways, I feel like having a dog is preparing me more in certain ways.
Right.
Because in terms of like the responsibility having to take care of, as opposed to like, actually dealing with like a human that you can talk to and deal with their emotions and stuff. That part, uncling,
They're part of the family, though, the dogs, so the cats. But yeah, no, I think, you know, absolutely. Like you just like, you have to just dive into their world, the imagination aspect of it. Like you just, it's kind of fun to like, I feel like I'm watching all the kids shows that I grew up on, like Dora, like shout out Dora, learning some Espanol. Like I'm telling you, like I'm one of those dads where I'm like, we're going to watch the same Disney movies. We're going to play the same video games. We're going to break out the N64 and we'll play Mario Kart, you know, and Super Smash Bros. That's what we're going to play. We're not going to play like Call of Duty, Black Ops.
Hocus Pocus was on the TV and threw me back. I was like, all right, Chip, we'll watch this.
Those were the good
old days. He was
days.
playing it. You know, he's not really there yet.
Smart
but I'm like,
House, Johnny Tsunami, right? Like,
Disney
I'm telling you,
originals.
those were the Friday nights right there. Those were the days. So yeah, I think that's a great question, Wags. You just like, it brings you right back. You feel like a kid again. So, and you also feel like you're about like, you know, retired and like your shoulders are going and like, you know, you're feeling sore and you're getting the gray hairs, but it's all worth it in the end. So
you have any other questions for us?
yeah, we're going to wrap things up here.
That was a good question.
Yeah, my only follow-up question is, you got any dad jokes this week?
Oh, see? All right. So,
I got to see if these hit different in person.
right? Yeah, I mean,
we usually have a tough critic. So
yeah, shout out Kevin. I know he's you know, trying to get me to my best potential with the jokes here. So
he only wants the best for you.
yeah, all right. So I'm gonna go on a little you know, a little segment here, if you will, like my little stand-up segment. All right. So
Let's go.
yeah, don't judge until like it's done. You know what I'm saying? So all right. How does NASA organize a party? They plan it. All right. So why did Mickey Mouse bring an extra pair of pants when he went golfing? In case he got a hole in one. Why did Cinderella, why was she bad at soccer? She kept running away from the ball. Let's see. We got 2 more here for you.
Not bad.
Yeah, I mean, we had this moose actually get on our page. Did you see that the other day, TJ? Yeah, this moose was trying to like comment and like, you know, he didn't leave a name or like a place, you know, a city where he's from. So we'll just call him Anonymous. And, you know, my last one here I'll end with. What did the horse say when he tripped? Help, I've fallen. I can't giddy up. Hey, how was that for a slate of dad jokes? 5 for 5?
Man.
It was. I didn't even have a chance to react to a lot of them because it was so rapid fire. But
I got some chuckles out of Wags. All right, thanks. Wags.
yeah. Well, at
think
first I
Kevin-
was laughing because I'm just like, wow, he's not even gonna give us a chance. He's just gonna plow through.
Oh, it was rapid fire. You got to process those quickly. So
Anonymous was probably my favorite.
you like the anonymous?
I'll be honest. I thought you were building up to like a bigger.
No, just classic dad jokes, corny as ever.
I think Kevin would have walked off set.
Yeah, Kevin would have been. He would have been at the.
You would have given him like overstimulation of
You've
dad
been at the
jokes.
bar by now. You've been like, I'm out. Yeah. So, but hey, shout out to Marvin for the new look. I mean, if you guys like this, I can roll with this every episode. We're literally at the cowboy bar here, you know, Charlie Blood's. But Marvin said he liked the cowboy hat, and you know, it's a staple of mine. So, you know, I could keep rocking with this. But it definitely made sense after our Halloween episode to run it back this episode.
We were
so.
joking that he could put anything on. He makes it look good.
I'll keep switching it up for you guys.
We'll
but
wrap
let us
up
know.
with thanking you, Wags.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure having you.
Thanks
Seriously.
for having me. This
Being
was a great time.
Our number 1 fan.
Uncle.
Two of the best up and coming dads out there. So I'm happy to
Appreciate that.
hang out and learn from you guys. And
Praising.
Something tells me he's going to be a very good father.
Oh, hands down.
He'll overplan it, but he'll
Already Uncle of the Year, right? You know, MVP Uncle. So, yeah, I can't wait to see what your future has in store. And hopefully we'll bring you back on, you know, down the road here. So,
Yeah.
the dad chapter. But, yeah.
Thanks
You're
for
the man,
everything.
Wags. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, dad chapter out.
Yeah, follow
you next
us
time.
on all the socials, guys. We
Yes.
appreciate all the
Yes,
support
sir.
and the love, all right? You
Shout
know,
out to Charlie Bloods
that's it. Charlie Bloods. You
and
know, check it
Bravery
out.
Studio.
Yep. Garfield, New Jersey. All right. Best of the best. Best in the business. We out.